Hello and welcome to News Now. U.S. President Barack Obama has said the UN climate conference in Paris could be a turning point in global efforts to limit future temperature rises. Obama urged negotiators to deliver a meaningful deal because, according to him, the next generation is watching. The last major meeting in 2009 ended in failure, but French Foreign Minister Laurent Fabius, who was chairing the meeting, said a deal was within reach. Assessments of the more than 180 national plans that have been submitted by countries suggest that if they were implemented, the world would see a rise of nearer to 3 degrees Celsius. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari is currently in Paris as Nigeria's representative at the United Nations Climate Change Conference. In his address at the summit, Buhari announced Nigeria's intended nationally determined contribution, committing to emissions cut now of 20%. Buhari explained that Nigeria would meet this goal by making more use of natural gas and climate-smart agriculture. He asked developed countries to honor their promises in relation to providing climate finance to help developing countries, including Nigeria, adapt to climate change. The president is also expected to participate in the launching of the International Solar Alliance, which is an initiative of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. On Tuesday, the president will participate in the summit of the heads of state and government of the Lake Chad Basin Commission and, of course, Benin Republic, which would discuss issues pertaining to Boko Haram and other issues about security. The Nigerian police has issued a warning asking Nigerians to be security conscious and be wary of receiving Christmas hampers from unknown people. Police spokesperson Olabisi Kolawole in a statement warned that some of the hampers might be laden with explosive, urging people to be extra careful during the festive period. The police also warned citizens against the use of fireworks to avoid causing panic and implored everyone to shun violence. Prophet T.B. Joshua, founder of the Synagogue Church of All Nations, was a no-show in court today, where his trial and others were set to begin over the collapse of a building belonging to his church in which 116 persons were killed. The trial was set at the Lagos State High Court in Ikeja, southwest Nigeria, but the judge had to adjourn the case to December 11th owing to the accused persons now not appearing in court. The Lagos State Ministry of Justice had on Sunday announced that T.B. Joshua, his trustees, and the engineers involved in the construction of the collapsed synagogue building would be arraigned in court over the incident which happened in September of last year. Counsel to the engineers now, Oluwaseun Abimbola, explained that his clients were absent because the Ministry of Justice failed to serve the necessary court papers. In his reply, the Commissioner of Justice, Adeniji Kazeem, explained that the ministry could not locate them to serve the papers because they did not have valid addresses. The judge eventually ordered that the notices be served within 72 hours and cautioned the defenders not to trivialize the trial, which he referred to as a criminal case. The deputy governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress at the Kogi State governorship election, James Faleke, has chosen the son of the late Abubakar Audu Mohammed as his new running mate in the supplementary polls to be conducted in the state. Faleke disclosed this as he addressed hundreds of APC supporters in the Kogi State capital of Lokoja in north-central Nigeria. Muhammadu's father, Audu Abubakar, was the former governorship candidate of the APC in the election, which was held on Saturday, November the 21st. He died shortly after the announcement of the election results on Sunday, which was ruled inconclusive. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, last Tuesday announced that the ruling All Progressives Congress will be allowed to replace its deceased candidate, another candidate in a supplement, with another candidate now in the supplementary election to be held December 5. Faleke has now vowed to reclaim the governorship ticket of the APC, insisting that the Kogi governorship position was a mandate freely given to the APC by the people in the last election. He assured that there was no problem between him and the family of late Abubakar Audu and described the task ahead as a moral burden on him to fight until the victory of APC is accomplished. Meanwhile, following the decision of James Falike to select Muhammadu Audu as his running mate in the Kogi State governorship election, supporters of Falike and the runner-up in the APC primaries in Kogi, Yaya Bello, clashed at the party's national secretariat in Abuja, where the National Working Committee met to decide its candidate at the supplementary polls. The supporters carrying sticks and stones tore at each other freely, with policemen on ground looking helplessly and unable to curtail the situation. The feuding youths also hauled stones at the secretariat building and passers-by. Falike was the running mate to late Audu Abubakar and wants the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to declare him winner of the governorship election. Bello is being pushed by some APC leaders APC leaders now to take the governorship ticket, having taken part in all processes during the primaries of the party. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has urged the federal government to probe the tenure of the former Minister of Finance, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, in relation to how part of the funds recovered from the late Sani Abacha was spent. In a statement on Sunday, the group confirmed receiving several documents from the World Bank amounting to a total of over 700 pages on information on how the recovered assets stolen by the late General Abacha was spent. It said that the document suggested the recovered loot was spent on roads, electricity, education, health and water. The group now wants President Buhari to summon the former Minister of Finance to explain her role in the spending of the recovered loot. We'll take a short break here, and News Now will be right back.
Hello, you're welcome. You're watching the Funny White Man Show, which is the biggest, the brightest, and the most entertaining show in Africa.
Funny white man, funny white man, funny white man, but this way you talk, it's too much. Give me 5,000 man, that's you. It's too much. So you get it like, Messi move along the street. Ah, yeah, Messi like that, I'm going girl. You know, my own people, actually. Yeah, fine, it's fun. I enjoy it. And I'm one of those very few.
I'm forever taking it personal. I will listen 160 million Nigerians are corrupt. How? I'm looking for you.
Yeah, but it's a growth, and this is the time to build business. I know the pitfalls, I know what to do and what not to do. But there are months where you get business and months.
You know how we do, how we train them. We do the way you do.
Hello, you're welcome. You're watching Trending Matters on the Funny White Man Show. Of course, they will bring you trending issues just to entertain and tickle your fancy.
Welcome back. Now, faced by severe shortfall in government revenue as a result of the fall in the price of oil, the Nigerian government has set up a body to check government spending. Known as the Efficiency Unit Steering Committee, the body is expected to control cost in governance and reduce the wastage of government expenditure. Minister of Finance Kemi Adeosun officially inaugurated the committee today in Abuja. She said the initiative of the Efficiency Unit was to assist government in identifying opportunities to reduce wasteful and inefficient spending. She also said the current economic situation and reduction in oil price has exposed Nigeria's vulnerabilities and created the need for greater efficiency in government spending. The committee is expected to provide practical, implementable recommendations that will deliver quantifiable savings to the citizenry, she added.
We have a framework that will arise from this and a communications policy that will arise from this. The problem we have at the moment is that there are no standards for how much you should spend on a ticket to Abuja, for example. There's no standard that says a packet of paper should not cost more than this. So one of the things that the Efficiency Unit will be doing is benchmarking, going around looking how much are we spending, then go out to the private sector, how much do they spend? How are they able to negotiate theirs better? It could be the way we're negotiating, as I said. It could be the fact that people believe that when you supply to government, you're supposed to make so much profit. Or it could be that people feel that sometimes government doesn't pay on time and therefore I need to inflate the cost. So we're going to look at all the causes that make government spending extremely inefficient. And we are going to circulate those results not only to the agency that we reviewed, but that's why the head of service is here, to ensure that every agency then gets a circular saying, this is now the cost of paper. And if you go above it, the PERMSEC or whoever is approving that memo needs to have a reason that, okay, maybe in this area they don't have, this is the price. So we're just trying to establish benchmarks, and we believe that so doing will make everybody much more cost conscious in how they spend money at the moment. At the moment there is no guideline, and as I say, where there is no law there's no sin. So we need to establish those guidelines to guide how people spend money.
Well, a very wonderful idea. The Nigerian foreign exchange reserves fell to a 3-month low of $30.04 billion on November the 26th. That's according to the Central Bank of Nigeria. The reserves, which fell by $60 million from $30.10 billion in October, is the lowest the country has experienced since a rise of $1.66 billion within June and July 2015. According to figures now released by the CBN on Monday, the reserves were down 18.6% on the year from $36.9 billion in the same period in 2014. The country's dollar reserves began to plunge with respect to a fall in crude oil prices and the Apex Bank's initial decision to defend the naira on and off the parallel market. Oil prices suffered a moderate fall now on Monday on the back of a strong US dollar and caution ahead of Friday's OPEC meeting. Now, benchmark Brent for January was down 25 cents, or about 0.5%, at $44.61 a barrel, while US crude dropped 10 cents to $41.61. Now, oil prices are heading for declines of as much as 10% this month due to supply glut, strong US dollar, and of course a low prospect of a cut in OPEC production. The Friday's OPEC meeting is unlikely to result in any output cut. However, markets could find relief if Saudi moves towards the idea of working on price support measures in future. Turkish Prime Minister Ahmet Davutoglu has said Turkey will not apologize for bringing down a Russian jet on the Syrian border. Davutoglu said the incident was unfortunate, but that Turkey had a right and duty to protect its airspace. Turkey said it had tried to rescue the Su-24 bomber's 2 pilots. One of them was killed by gunfire as he parachuted from the burning plane. Now, the other pilot was rescued and has denied claims the jet had violated Turkish airspace and warnings were given. Now, the plane crashed into a mountainside on Syrian soil after being hit by a missile from a Turkish fighter jet. Now, tensions have escalated between the two countries over the incident, with Russian Prime Minister Vladimir Putin describing it as, quote, a stab in the back and warning of serious consequences. The US, the EU and the UN have all appealed for calm. To sports now, the head coach of the national under-23 team, Samson Siasia, has said his selection of Chile under-17 highest goal scorer Victor Osimhen in the Dream Team is not on sentiment but on merit. Speaking at a post-match press conference after the match against Mali, Siasia hailed the goal-scoring abilities of Osimhen and insisted he selected the 17-year-old because of the qualities he can add to his team. Osimhen won the Golden Boot Award as the top goal scorer at the FIFA Under-17 World Cup in Chile after scoring a record 10 goals. He also received the award for the second best player in the tournament behind his captain, Kelechi Makali. Current FIFA World Player of the Year Cristiano Ronaldo has been named in the final 3-man shortlist for the 2015 Ballon d'Or for the 5th year in a row. The Portuguese was named alongside the Barcelona duo of Lionel Messi and Neymar as FIFA revealed the top 3 players who will battle for the biggest individual prize in world football. 23 players were nominated for the award organized by football's governing body FIFA and France Football magazine, but that was whittled down to 3 when the announcement was made on Monday afternoon. The final nominees were confirmed after a voting process which was open to the captains and head coaches of the 207 member associations as well as international media representatives selected by FIFA and France Football. The winner will be announced at the FIFA Ballon d'Or award ceremony at the Congress that's the Congress now in Zurich on the 11th of January 2016. well, we'll wait and see who wins the Ballon d'Or. But my gut feeling is that Messi will probably take it now for the 5th time. That's it on News Now. We thank you very much for watching. Continue to stay tuned to TV360.